What could be a very good introduction to the world of luxury watches? For my 30th birthday, I decided to buy myself a nice watch. My budget was $5,000 and I wanted to get a chronograph because I loved the look of the 3 sub-registers. I did not want to go a pre-owned route because it was my first time purchasing a luxury watch. I did not feel very secure buying from a pre-owned market, mostly due to lack of knowledge. So my final 2 contenders were an Omega Speedmaster variant and a Tag Heuer Carrera variant. You have to remember that a few years ago, there weren't as many watch review channels on YouTube, and watch journalism online wasn't as prevalent as it is today. Therefore, it wasn't as easy to find out that the Speedmaster has a huge cult following, and Tag Heuers are mostly disregarded among watch snobs. To a watch newbie like myself, both the Speedmaster and the Carrera come from reputable brands, so it was natural for me that they were the final contenders. Back then, one of the YouTube videos I watched was by Archie Luxury, the self-proclaimed YouTube phenomenon. He seemed to be quite confident that the man on the moon watch should be the one that I buy.
And they'll say, they come to me, Archie, I want to get my first decent watch, what should I get? And I go, easy, Omega Speedmaster Professional, man on the fucking moon. Manual wine, Halcyon glass, yada yada yada.
While it ended up being an incredible device, I didn't know before buying the watch whether I could trust this guy. You know what I mean. Even to a watch noob, the Speedmaster was a safer bet because it felt like more of an icon in the watch industry compared to Carrera. Of course, the Carrera has a deep history and significance behind it as well, but it didn't feel comparable to a watch that has been to the moon. We all heard about how the Speedmaster was put through rigorous tests to be chosen by NASA, and such history and reliability of the movement was a deciding factor for me. Another factor was that the caliber 1887 was just too blingy, big, and almost cheap looking. Even though the case for the 1887 is only 1mm larger than the 42mm size of the Speedmaster, my wrist is 6.5 inches. The 1mm difference really changed how the 2 watches feel and look on my wrist. Also, I was looking for something that is more subtle and elegant. The Speedmaster was definitely the one. Then came the question of which Speedmaster should I get. Of course, a lot has changed to the watch since it was worn on the mission to the moon. However, I wanted to choose a model that most closely followed the tradition of the moon watch worn on the moon in 1969. This meant that the movement had to be hand-winding and the crystal had to be Hesselite. Plus, I read online that Hesselite under the light feels a lot warmer than sapphire, and I certainly found that to be true. The most difficult decision was choosing the Professional over the FOIS, the first Omega in space. The FOIS, with its smaller 40mm case size compared to 42mm of the Professional, would have probably been a better fit for my wrist. The lack of crown guard as well as the leaf hands on the FOIS just looked incredible. However, I was willing to sacrifice these advantages for the heritage of the Professional. Wally Schirra's accomplishment was great, but nothing can beat the history of landing on the moon. It means something when a design of a watch has not changed during the last 50 years or so. This is because the Speedmaster is a good watch. It has all the elements of being an awesome watch: instant recognition, rich history, impeccable quality, and comfort. No other watch comes even close to the Speedmaster at this price point. In the end, Archie was right. This is probably the best first luxury watch that a person can purchase. Under $5,000 at least.